you guys just want to jump in with questions.
Nice. Practice going on. How have things gone so far for you guys in practice with the new team?
Yeah, this is week 3, Jason, so obviously 10 new guys. Feel like it's gone great. Guys have worked really, really hard, not only on the court in the 4 hours, but also the weight room. Just trying to get acclimated with each other. I think it's going to take some time, obviously, but you saw the size, the length, the talent. I think we're very, very deep, we're very fast, and very versatile.
Seems like you guys are really focusing on going fast, going up tempo. Is that just focus of some of these practices, or is, obviously that was an emphasis of last year's team? How much of an emphasis is there on going really fast, keeping this team running?
Yeah, I think it's important to see guys play. I'm a big believer in the summer. You got to let guys play. So we probably play 5-on-5 more than most, but certainly we want to find, create, keep advantages defensively. We want to get better, right? We've talked about it. I think you saw MJ Collins and some of the size and length we have, Adlin, and some of these freshmen, and even our returning guys will pick it up a lot better in year 2. So collectively, we want to be better defensively. So we're going to put an emphasis on that this summer.
Did you like I mean, I know it's only an hour, but did you like the defense? I mean, there was a lot of deflections. It seemed like there was a stretch there with made a lot of stops.
When you're playing yourself, you're never happy, right? So a lot of turnovers, I thought. Sean, tons of turnovers. Sam Merrill, I thought, made a great comment. By the way, unbelievable guy back here in town today. Was in this gym at 5:45. I sent a video to the Cavs general manager. I said, there's not too many players in the NBA that grind like Sam Merrill. So he was in here at 5:45 when we all walked in, and he said after 5 minutes that was more turnovers in 5 minutes in a whole NBA practice. So just slowing down, seeing the game better. Our guys get better with time. We're trying to build this thing. Really from the ground up. It's a new year, it's a new team, it's a lot of new players, so we're kind of back to the basics, but the attitudes, the connectivity has been unbelievable. Feel really good 2 years in a row about the character of our team.
I mean, you don't like the turnovers, but defensively, when they're making stops, it has to make you a little happy.
Yeah, I think Coach Howard and Coach Hill like them, but I don't.
I guess do you feel like that's typical for like an offense, just trying to get a lot of new players, getting to know each other? I feel like, is that typical of this time of the season, or is it a little more than you were expecting?
Yeah, heck, sometimes now with the portal and everything going on, it goes into the preseason. So we do a really good job with tracking things. Jason, you saw we stopped them, at 7 turnovers per team, and then they got to run a 22. So I think it's accountability. Our early morning starts, I think, have been really, really good. We're really kind of modeling what Houston does. Talked to Alan Bishop and Aggie, strength coach down there at Houston, and really picked his brain about a month ago of how we kind of want to attack this summer. And all our workouts have been really, really early. Our guys are getting up at 6 a.m. We're in the gym by 7 or the weight room by 7. It's been really, really good to see everybody on time. You saw the energy in this building for an early practice, so it was really good.
Did Sam talk to the team, or obviously means a lot, probably having him around?
The guys didn't get a chance to talk to him, but he'll be around this summer. He said he's going to be around more than he has in years past. He was playing golf at 8 o'clock, so we didn't want him to be late for his tee time.
Coach, in terms of improving the defense, how much of that is physicality? Obviously, you guys got a lot more length this year, but I feel like if we go back to some of the things that happened last season, there were games where maybe it was a little too much finesse and not enough muscling inside.
Couldn't agree with you more. It's something you learn as you get into year 2 in the Mountain West, and obviously the Pac-12. We're already starting recruiting for 26. I think we've addressed some of our size. Zach Keller is, probably 6'10", 6'11", 245. David Aweezy has real size. Carson Templin has got much bigger. Gary Clark is kind of a sneaky type of guy. He's very, very strong. He's stronger than he looks. Got to get his weight up. He's about 215. So we feel with the 4 front court guys we have, we've addressed some of those concerns. But, I would agree with you, right? And you're just trying to get better. And I think the way you do that is through recruiting and development. I think we're off to a good start.
Seems Tucker's bulked up a bit well. He looks a little bigger than he did last season.
Tuck has done a tremendous job. If you said, hey, who's one guy that's really gained a lot of weight, a lot of good weight, Jason, it'd probably be Tucker Anderson. My wife saw him probably 2 weeks ago and said, wow, it looked like he grew. But he really just grew outwards. He did not grow upwards. I think he's probably gained about 17, 18 pounds of good solid muscle. Coming from Central Arkansas is a big difference in playing in the Mountain West. We're expecting big things out of Tuck.
Luke Kearney also looks pretty good today. I think I only saw him miss 1 or 2 shots. Seems like he's playing really confident, especially with that 3-point shot.
Luke's going to be really good. You talk about an unbelievable, great addition late. First of all, he's played in this league. Coach really taught him how to cut. He's a great cutter, but in our system, we're going to run him on a lot of wide pins. He's going to have a big year for us. If you say, hey, who's a couple of the standout guys? Luke Kearney's one of them.
Could almost be like Dexter O'Connell because he kind of saw a really big jump coming from Oregon State.
That'd be great. I thought Dex, for a one-year guy, you talk about a guy that really bought into being an Aggie and putting in the work. He was in here every day at 7 a.m. and had one of the best shooting, it was definitely the best shooting percentage of his career. And I think Luke could do that.
Coach, can you talk about bringing back 2 familiar assistants in Curran and Johnny Hill and talking to them, and what made you bring them back?
I think what's special about Utah State, is the coaching tree, right? Is a bunch of guys that loved their time in Logan, loved being here. So when you talk to Coach Smith about, Curran Walsh, you talk to Danny Sprinkle about Johnny Hill, got rave reviews. But it doesn't stop there. What I like to do is I like to take a really deep dive beyond that. So really what I did is I talked to Sam quite a bit about Curran. I talked to Mason and I talked to KT about Johnny. Players know real coaches. Players know coaches that are knowledgeable and have motors. And Sam and Mason and KT both signed off on all these guys. And to me, this is a players program. I've got to listen to my players. And I thought we did a really good job in those hires. These are young guys that want to move up to coaching ranks, want to be head coaches. Feel like we got a couple guys on my staff that are ready right now. I got this from Coach Missoula about a year ago. He said, you got to build some systems internally because you're going to have change, right? And I think the great programs, the great organizations can just move those guys up naturally, kind of like we did with Max Bent. He goes from the analytics guy, and that's going to be my plan with Curran if we have change.
What do you thought of the freshmen coming in here so far? Obviously, we haven't seen these guys yet on a college court. What have you thought of their impact so far?
I tell you what, I've been pretty pleased. Very, very pleased, actually. I think all 5 kids, certainly come from different backgrounds, different coaching. What you learn is you can find out in 2 weeks who's been coached, who understands how to read the ball, who understands cutting. Every game's different, right? From high school to college to the NBA. The NBA rules are different with the help and the 3 seconds and that sort of thing. High school, most of these kids have had the ball in their hands. They pass, they just cut away. We're having to teach them a lot about the game, but the length, the size, the skill has been tremendous. David Oweezy's going to be a guy that is going to have an unbelievable career here. He's 235 pounds. Elijah Perryman's vision is incredible. Can really, really see the court. Played for a great high school coach and Coach Alaco. Adlin Alameen, the sky's the limit. I mean, he's 6'10", 6'11". He can shoot threes, he can cut, he can guard. He should be one of our better defenders. And Braden and Kingston have great upside, right? They're wing players that can shoot it. So we just got to teach them every day, bring them along. But, guys like Mason, guys like KT, guys like MJ Collins, Colby King, Zach, we got a bunch of older guys that can help these kids develop, and they just got to keep working.
How's their knees?
Dr. Pickett and Brett, I think we have the best trainer. I'm pretty biased, but I think our athletic trainer is the best in the country. He's one of the best I've ever been around. He and Dr. Pickett have both advised no surgery, so I'm fighting through this thing. We're doing staff workouts every day. We want to be the most conditioned staff this year, and I'm just going to see how it goes the next 4 weeks. If not, I'm going to have surgery. How'd your surgery go, by the way? You good?
Good.
All right. I see him all the time at the hospital. It's not a good thing.
I want to ask about the schedule. Obviously, not officially out yet. How far along are there as far as getting those?
We're close. Yeah, we're really, really close. We feel, Jason, I think I talked to you guys when you guys were in my office that day. The formula is 4 to 5 quad 1, quad 2s at our level, non-league. We feel really good we're going to get there. Obviously getting the Memphis Tigers and Coach Hardaway Great program to come in here to Logan. We will be announcing probably the last 2 or 3 here in the next week, but there's going to be a really, really good schedule ahead of us. There's going to be some great games early, like real early. So we've got to have a great summer. We got to understand and educate our new guys on the 11 non-conference games are going to be really, really important, and they're going to be here before you know it. So yeah, I'd say in the next week.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Yep.
Got a lot of work to